Hi guys, it's Shanta from Mill Valley Pilates, and I wanted to give you a little demonstration about the psoas because I end up talking about it a lot, and I have a little model to show you what it is because it's inside our bodies. We can't feel it. We can kind of feel if it's tight, but we can't often know where exactly it is, and it affects a lot of things. And the psoas is responsible for flexing the leg in this position here and bringing it up as well. It's one of the hip flexors, but it's actually attaches way up here at your lower thoracic spine. This is our spine here. This is your pelvis. And this little piece here, this is only showing one side of it, is the psoas all the way to the bottom. So it attaches at the top at your thoracic spine, somewhere around here, and then it goes all the way down, and then it attaches, this is your femur bone, to the inside of your femur bone. So it's quite a long muscle there, and it, as you can see, it kind of fans out as well. So it's not one little skinny piece, it's kind of a wider piece, and you'll notice that it feels tight in through here or in through the front. That's what it is. It's the psoas that's being affected. So like I said, it's on both sides. This model is only showing one side. Okay. And it affects a lot of things. So one of the things it affects is your breathing. If you are breathing shallowly because of stress or poor posture, your diaphragm is only moving a small amount up and down, and its relationship to your psoas is not giving your psoas a full stretch either way as well. So it's a circular relationship. The breathing will affect the psoas will affect the breathing. So let me show you a couple exercises that are pretty passive that can affect some positive change in that psoas area just by laying down and breathing. And then there's also some actual more active exercises we can do to help you as well. And it might manifest, like I was saying, in back pain. It also might manifest in hip pain. Get my spine over there. So the first one's really easy. You're just going to, not everyone has a wedge. I actually recommend getting one. It's not, they're not that expensive. And they're pretty comfortable, but you want to get that wedge underneath your head and then all the way down to, I'm pretty small, so it goes down lower than it needs to, but basically until about where that psoas connects, where I showed you at that lower thoracic vertebrae, below the bottom rib, say. So that wedge should be all the way down there as well. And it just gives your ribs a place to rest into, right? And all you're going to do with your knees bent or your legs straight, whatever's more comfortable, probably knees bent, is just to breathe. Breathe into those back ribs and let your rib cage just sink into the mat or into the wedge. And that's all it is. You might not notice, but a lot of people end up with rib cages that kind of flare forward. So if you have one of those rib cages that look like that and you have trouble bringing it back in space, then it's probably related to a tight psoas connection up at that top connection. So the other one I wanted to show you is a little bit more active, is using a roller. This is a half roller, but you can by all means use a full round roller. You're more likely to have one of those at home, I think. And then just lie down with the roller under your pelvis and take a little stretch. So the roller is under the hips. You're gonna hold on to one leg and stretch the other leg out. And we're opening up the front of the hip and getting into the psoas here, right, on this leg. And then switching sides. You could even flex both feet as well. And then you can move into this one where you're just gonna lift and lower your leg. So I'm holding one leg, that's my steady leg. The other leg is going to lift and lower. And you're going to think about that psoas muscle from where it attaches, right at the base of the ribs, the thoracic vertebrae, the last thoracic vertebrae, and how it threads all the way through the lumbar spine, through the pelvis, and connects to the inside of your big femur bone, right up at the top there. So see if you can think about it as one long lengthened piece that doesn't become slack, except maybe here up at the top, but it's working and lengthening on the way down, and it's working and lengthening on the way up, and then at the top it might slacken and relax. But often we find that the psoas is tight and weak for various reasons. It could be that your pelvis is a little bit rotated, and so one side's shortened and tightened and the other side's lengthened and not able to connect as well, right? So that's so you're going to need some pelvic stability in there too, but this will help to even them out so that they work really, really nicely. And then the last one I want to show you here today is just lifting one leg up at a time. So this is a classic Pilates exercise, actually just lifting one leg up at a time. But I'm always challenging my clients to do it really mindfully so that when you're lifting, you're engaging your abdominals, you're engaging your pelvic floor, and you're trying not to engage your hip flexors here, right at the crease of the thigh where the leg meets the pelvis. So if you're doing that, you're actively working your psoas in a healthy way in conjunction with your transverse abdominals and your pelvic floor, and you're kind of deactivating your bigger muscle groups like your quads or your hip flexors, because they tend to overwork when other little intrinsic muscles are not quite as strong. So that's just a little introduction to the psoas, and I hope that this model helped you to see where it is on your body, right? That it attaches way up at the top here, that it comes all the way down through the pelvis, and then it attaches to your femur bone on the inside, right at your inner thigh. Because sometimes just having a visual of what it looks like will help you, and then hopefully a couple of those exercises will help you with any back or hip pain you have. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and have a great day.